Here,
Gimmighoul, give me status, let me feel alive. New Contramerc City's humming, pulling on the vibe. Dope vibes floating in the air tonight. Podcast running till the morning light. Memories on loop, they replay and bend.
99.9 Gimmighoul Radio, hottest FM radio in New Contramerc City.
Welcome to Gimmighoul Radio.
Gimmighoul Radio.
That
Wow,
was not synced up at all.
that was so great. We're good, guys. We're good. I'm leaving that in.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. Obviously it's Unseelie here. Me and Make are finally back in the recording booth together. After a whole bunch of life events and everything else, we are finally back, finally ready to start recording. On the docket today, we have some heavier stuff, but we also have some lighter stuff that I think is going to be really good for at least our community and I would love to say the community, just the Pokemon community at large. So to start with the heavy stuff, we are going to talk about the recent mega leaks that have happened. We are not going to have any spoilers. We're not going to discuss the forums. And we're definitely not going to discuss the leaks themselves, but we do want to discuss the impact that the leaks are having on the community, because I think that's where we feel the most passionate about. What would you say, Make?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think there's a lot of cause and effects when it comes to leaks and leak culture in gaming, and especially right now we're seeing it within the Pokemon sphere. Shout out to the Pokesphere. I just made that pun on the spot. But anyway, yeah, I think leaks can be a slippery slope to trouble. And if you don't know how to, pivot yourself in the social sphere, I would say, to keep yourself blinded from leaks and information that can ruin your enjoyment of a game, you just have to be careful with that. And I think it crosses a line.
99.9 Gimmighoul Radio, the smoothest storm of New Contramerc City.
And we're going to go over this, but like you said, there's a big problem right now within the Pokemon community and leak culture. And we covered this in actually one of our previous episodes. So if you haven't checked it out, please do. I'll leave a link in the description below. But we kind of predicted this, Unseelie, and I think it's unfortunate. It's come to where people are now starting to realize, hey, this may not be a really good thing that we're doing, because now we're losing a little bit of that enjoyment in the Pokemon theorizing camp and in the Pokemon story camp. You're just, at what point do we say enough is enough with leak culture, and how do we correct it? And I don't know, a bunch of information at once from me, but Unseelie, I'm gonna let you get your thoughts on it and kind of see where we go from there. But you're right, leak culture, Pokemon, it's bad right now, guys. If you are on, Twitter, now called X, or YouTube Spaces, just be careful out there, because leaks are coming left and right. Low blows, high blows. You kind of have to understand, am I willing to risk my enjoyment of this game? Am I okay knowing about certain spoilers, right? I don't know. What's your thoughts, Unseelie, while I gather mine and I kind of ponder what I just said?
So I guess my biggest concern is we're seeing a lot of, I don't want to say leakers, but a lot of content creators in the leak space have, for the most part, been getting upset about, I guess, the current batches of leaks. And I'm not entirely sure why that is. So when you look at leak culture historically, everybody has always been on the line of, well, we want to be able to see these things. We want more information. We need more information. Okay, awesome. But the more you ask for information and the more you're going towards rumors and leaks, the more you're going to get. And to get upset by the fact that you are getting more of that information, it is mind-boggling to me. It's absolutely I don't understand it. You got what you asked for, so why are you mad? Is my biggest question on that. That being said, at least to cover it for those who don't know, on X, there are certain users, certain individuals in the leak culture that have obtained access in whatever way they did it to all of the new mega forms that we're going to be getting. Well, at least we assume that it's mega forms. They've also got access, I believe, you said they have story leaks as well. Like they actually have confirmed story leaks.
From what I understood, I have a couple of reporters that come come to our office every now and again to just kind of keep us up to date of what's going on in the Pokemon world. And right now we're receiving reports that, story leaks are out there. So do be careful. I'm not going to name any specific, like you said, individuals on the social sphere, but yeah, as far as I'm aware, I believe they are out there. There are a couple that have been debunked, saying they've been on 4chan and all this. And actually, that's actually a good topic as well. 4chan, historically known for the spoiler and leak culture place. I'm gonna wait till I get to that point, but I just think a lot of these leaks need to probably stay in 4chan, and the fact that they're coming into Twitter is a big problem for me. I think that needs to be corrected somehow. I'm probably getting off topic right there, but you are correct. We're at the point where stories of the actual game that have taken these developers, in Game Freak in years of creating, a couple to 3 years, I'm sure, and developing the stories, making sure they're fun, making sure they're correct, with lore as best they can, and then all of it just to be ruined in a couple days for most people is just so sad. What's the point? Everyone's so concerned about to use the words that Gimmighoul Radio tweeted out the other day, instant gratification. That's what people want.
Yep.
And that's not what we need in the Pokemon community, but people still want it. And I think that's part of the problem with a lot of the people on the social side of things. They're trying to chase the clout, but they'll do it at any cost. And to them, leaks is a very easy way to get clout. And unfortunately, I'm just going to speak the truth. I think they're chasing that and not caring about the aftermath or the effects of all these leaks throwing out there. And so they're just giving the leaks out. And they don't care. They're doing it to get publicity, to gain popularity, because they know people will know they have information, right? So that's where people go to if they care about that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, you've created this social clout chasing monster, throwing out leaks everywhere. I just don't think it's appropriate to be throwing leaks out that way. It's a tough thing for me to say, because I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a second, right? Let's say Unseelie, you have insider knowledge. And you say to yourself, I'm going to release this knowledge on a social platform, and I'm not going to make people read it. I'm just going to release it out there. So you could easily say, well, I didn't force these people to read nothing. I didn't force these people to go in and read all about these leaks. I just threw it out there because I knew what it was. And that's kind of a cop-out answer, but I don't know. Help me out with this.
Okay.
some shit. I don't fucking know. But we're here. We're here. God damn it, we're here. 99.9. You got podcasts. We got Ash making songs. Not that Ash. Our Ash. Making songs and shit that are fucking heaters. And we got Unseelie and Makeyourself talking about Pokemon with Professor Gray and shit. All their shit is fucking based. Fuck you titties. Okay. Don't forget to torque that like button.
So my thing with that example, technically you're not wrong. Like, at that point, technically you haven't done anything wrong. You have released information, or you have at the very least, you have supplied a resource for people to look at information on their own. Now, should you be held accountable for that? Probably. I mean, you knew what you were doing. It's not a secret. You knew why you did it and you know what you did. But at the same time, people can't be upset when they are... How do I put this nicely? It's not even nicely. It's just, how do I want to put this in a phrase in a way where I'm not like attacking people.
I get it.
So if you enjoy leaks, you actively hunt out leaks. You actively look for them. Like, that means you don't care about being spoiled. At least you shouldn't be. You don't care about necessarily who's posting the leaks. You just want that news. You want that rush of, hey, I want to know what's going on, which is fair. Anybody does. Like, a solid string of news is good. My issue comes in with what's going on now is you have a lot of people in the leak world who are getting very upset that all this has come out. And it's not that they're upset that it came out. They're upset that it came out so fast.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
I have an issue with, because one of the biggest things that people have said about another leaker is, well, if you know this, why don't you just say it?
Yeah, that's actually good. That's actually a very good point. I didn't even think about that.
So if your complaint when somebody is holding back on information that they know is, why aren't you giving us the information so we know what's to come? But then somebody else does give you that information, and now you're like, well, why would you give it out to us all immediately? Now we're going to, you've just ruined the entire hype cycle and news cycle for Pokemon Legends ZA. You can't have it both ways.
No, I get it. You're right.
And
I mean, it's kind of in a lot of ways, and not to put words in your mouth, Unseelie, but it's a little bit hypocritical in a lot of ways.
Oh, no. I've already said that on Twitter or on X.
Well, yeah,
I've used that exact wording.
Like, here's the thing: if they have, if you have known sources that give you information from the Pokemon Company, whether you share that information or not, just by the fact that you're associated with getting leaked information that way, doesn't, in a lot of ways, even though you're not sharing that, and I respect it, I'm fine with that if you don't share it that way. The only problem I have is that you're still associated with the leakers. So when something happens, like we're seeing now, and everything's being blown up in everyone's faces,
exactly.
And I think, I'm going to be honest, I think that's kind of what's happening. There's a little bit of beef going on within the Twitter sphere. I know there's, no one likes to have drama. Everyone likes to be laid back and chill. In the Pokemon community, everybody likes to be friends, but I think we have to be a little bit realistic and understand, some people just don't like other people, and that's okay, and you have to accept that. And now we're at a point where everything's butting heads, and I think it's affecting the league. I truly think this is all a part of one big plan They just kind of blow everything up and saying, you know, we're all a part of this together. You can't say you're not a part of us. We're just going to spill the beans on everything and let the chips fall as they may. Yeah, I could be wrong about that. That's just my opinion.
So no, I agree with you. It's just that we're seeing I think there's a lot of big personalities within the Pokemon community, and a lot of people have gotten their feeling hurts one way or another throughout, you know, normal, I guess, conversation and discourse and what have you. It's just the nature of, it's the nature of having a community, unfortunately. But at the same time, like, using personal feelings to be upset with another person, and then using leak culture to, I guess, get back at somebody, if that's, I feel like that's what you're kind of insinuating.
Yeah, I
Just
don't want
seems-
to call it a personal vendetta, but and listen, I'm not saying this wouldn't have happened if there wasn't like anything personal going on or any beef going on, but I do think it's just a little bit ironic, and the timing of everything is just too close together. Like, there's something going on behind the scenes we're not seeing. You know what I mean? And
Which
just
I'm gonna
something smells off.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I am fine with not seeing it.
Oh no, yeah.
Like I've said before, and especially when it comes to Gimmighoul Radio, I'm not a big person in leaks. I don't necessarily like covering leaks. I will look at a leak if I see it, but I don't go out and find them. My issue with leaks comes in the aspect of, no matter what is leaked or what isn't leaked, you're never going to make people happy. And it very much seems like this is the case of, you got what you asked for, but it isn't what you wanted.
Exactly. That's so good, Unseelie. I mean, that is
Like,
such a good way to put it, honestly.
It's that whole, like, genie with the wishes thing. You might wish for something, but what you wished for might not be exactly what you got. But you can't be upset because you asked for this. You asked for more information. You wanted more news. How many times have people been like, well, if Nintendo or Pokemon won't give us more details, then the leakers should. Cool,
Yeah.
look what just happened.
Yep.
You got it all. Like, you got everything you want to know is out there. The problem is, and I think where this comes from is the most vocal people about it, you'll notice, are content creators. And I believe the reason for that is because, we now understand the content creation side of it. If you're a leak cover, if you're a group or a person that covers leaks, it is very hard to think of what the next 6 months are going to look like for your content. Because if you don't cover all these leaks right now, you're going to be behind the curve.
Exactly.
If you do cover all these leaks right now, okay, well, everything just got leaked. Everything now is out there. What do I do for the next 6 months? Like, what happened? Like, what happens?
And you know what? It's not, and it's to even partner with that thought. I know of a couple of content social creators that do a lot of good design and artwork as well, and there's a couple of them out there that I've even stated, just summarizing a little bit, but now that these leaks are out here with like hinting at the actual design material for what the megas are going to be, that they in general are saying that they don't feel inspired to create these artworks anymore. And that's another effect of these leaks taking hold. Now you're having people who have like a passion for something that it kind of bleeds itself a little bit into the theorizing of Pokemon, but like you have a passion of creating, nothing out of, something out of nothing when it comes to Pokemon, because let's face it, Pokemon Company and Game Freak, they don't always give us a lot of the information we want. And yeah, does it suck? Yes, it does. But, at the end of the day, at least it gives us something to hold on to a little bit in our imaginations. And like a lot of artists now, just if you already have the information to draw what you want, or like I understand where they're coming from. It kind of ruins the idea of creating, cool megas or mons now that everything is kind of straightforward, right? So it's just a bad
argue with you
result.
on that?
You can. I mean, I just think it's how they feel, but
Oh no, I agree with you. There are some people that feel that way. My argument, and I mean, we're going to touch upon this in the more lighthearted aspect or segment that we have coming up. But
okay.
I'm somebody that does some like regional variant artwork and stuff like that. You know that. Anybody that is in our server, I think, realizes that now.
Yeah, I'd say.
I won't say I'm good at it, but I do my best. So I understand that aspect of, okay, well, we can't theorize. We can't make our own designs based on, these upcoming megas that we know are coming out or what have you. My argument to that is, okay, but what's stopping you from making megas that haven't been done yet? Like, why does it have to be megas that are going to be coming in the game?
Yeah, true. I mean, there's always going to be like outlets, I guess, to find inspiration to create.
So here's my thing, and I have not spoken. SUBA is somebody that we work with a lot when it comes to Gimmighoul Radio and artwork and stuff like that. Again, stay tuned to the end of the show. But we work a lot with SUBA, and even SUBA had said, like, it makes it easier for me to conceptually draw how these are gonna look. Oh, it's like, okay, cool, but on the same token of that, my argument would be, as coming from art, like an artwork side myself, and this is personally how I feel. I'm not speaking for anybody in the in the art community, in the Fakemon community, or anything like that.
Right.
But the way I look at it is, my regional variant of, say, Snorlax isn't going to be used in a Pokemon game. Well, a Nintendo Pokemon game, I should say, because you never know, fan games, ROM hacks, what have you.
Exactly.
You never know what comes down the line. And I'll leave that little Easter egg in there for people if they choose to pick up on it. But my artwork is never going to be a Pokemon franchise copyrighted thing. I know that. I 100% understand that. Like, I don't work for the Pokemon Company. I work for CC Media Group. I don't work for Pokemon. So anything I draw falls under our umbrella. So for me, I look at it as, I could have done 1,000 different variations of, say, a Feraligatr Mega. That's all well and good, and people might like them. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be what you get regardless. Like, maybe I got close, but it's not going to be what's in the game. So I've always, at least, like I said, again, 100% how I feel, I've always been that person of, well, why don't I just draw something that nobody's touching on, or something, or, you know, draw something that somebody wants or somebody would like to see, versus something that, well, this is what's coming, this is what we could be getting. Okay, awesome. We could get something like that. The problem with that is, if you get too close, well, then people are going to be like, well, you know, did you just copy the design? Did Nintendo copy the design from you? You know what I mean? There's just way too much, like, there's way too much issue in that. And if you don't get it at all, then you run into the whole, well, why can't Nintendo do something like this? Which is something that as much as I hate to say that.
Boy, am I glad he's frozen in there and we're out here, and that he's the sheriff, and we're frozen out here, but we're in there. And I just remembered that we're out here. What I want to know is, where is 99.9 Gimmighoul Radio?
Forget to beat the subscribe button with a wet spaghetti noodle.
It's not fair to the artists that work within Nintendo or within Pokemon for us to compare somebody else's artwork to what they design.
What's fair?
So it's a catch-22 for me, because it's like, I understand where they're coming from. I get it. It sucks. Like, it feels like they're taking away some of the creative freedom that they had. But still, no one's stopping you from, I guess no one's stopping you from still creating what you want to create. Like, it doesn't change anything. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think I follow. I mean, and from your perspective, like, it makes perfect sense, because and don't sell yourself short because your artwork, and stay tuned again to the end of the show. I promise you won't want to miss it. We have a really fun, if you're into some Fakemon or Pokemon fans in general, just wait, because we got some really cool stuff. And yeah, that's going to showcase just how much of an artist you are. And because you're speaking in that perspective, it does make sense, because everyone in their own right has their own right to create, like, their own artwork, right? It's property of theirs in their own vision. And it could be 1,000 different variations of something that they're all drawing, right?
exactly. It's not going to be like, unless you're, how do I put this? Unless your goal is to work for the Pokemon company, and if your goal is to work for the Pokemon company, you're probably not releasing Fakemon, because let's face it, TPCI isn't really that big on Fakemon. It's not something that they look at to hire somebody, at least as far as I know.
Yeah.
Like, and there's legitimate ways, like, you build your portfolio and you send it into, say, Game Freak or Creatures Inc. or Pokemon. Like, so anybody that's releasing Fakemon is usually releasing it because somebody asked for it, somebody commissioned it, or somebody looked at it and went, oh, well, this would be, like, I want to make this. Like, this is a passion project of mine. But everybody knows, like, it's not going to be in the game. So, like, I don't understand. I guess I personally don't understand the whole, it's affecting artists. It's not stopping you from doing anything.
Right.
Instead of titling it as, this is what we could get in Legend ZA, you title it as, this is what we could have gotten in Legend ZA.
Yeah. So there are ways that, I guess, and this is probably a really good segue into, like, what I want to cover before our commercial coming up. It makes perfect sense, just to kind of piggyback what you said. There are ways to go about these leaks in a positive light, right? So
exactly.
Does it suck? Yeah. Is it going to ruin, like, if you're not careful, is it going to ruin the story that you've been waiting for a couple of years to play? Yeah, probably. But there is a little bit of light in that, like Unseelie just mentioned, when it comes to artists and, motivation, it's not all doom and gloom. And I'm sure a lot of those artists that I may have seen on the social spaces, I'm sure they are in the same thought as you, Unseelie, to be fair, because you are right. And there's a lot of things they can do, even with the leaks going on. Another thing with the leaks, honestly, if you're that kind of casual Pokemon fan and you're going on to these sites, listen, if you're an active leaker seeker, see what I did there? I made a pun. You would go, listen, I'm just saying there are websites such as 4chan, right, that provide you with that substance if you want that. That's up to you. That's a personal choice. If leaking is what you're in for and that's your adrenaline boost and you want to know the information, it's not going to ruin anything for you, then that's a proper place to go, because now and like Unseelie mentioned, the key word there is you're actively searching for that leak, versus the problem that we have where now you're going into, and I'm not saying Twitter is a safe place, because it's really not. Like, it is, it's the wild, wild west, man. But listen, when you're out there,
that's an understatement.
It's the badlands of the Pokemon realm, where you got Shadowmons everywhere. You got to be careful, because there are people out there that may, and everybody, I hope, who's ever is listening to this show right now, and I hope you are, and if you are, thank you for listening. But just be careful is all I'm trying to say. And you may come across things you didn't want to come across, and now you're going to be left with a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth because of it.
I was actually talking to Dwarfinator before we started recording.
Okay.
And like he said, he's like, it's very hard to not see like what's going on. Like, it's now at the point that I agree with. It is now at the point where if you follow any Pokemon, pretty much anything, you're going to probably come across those leaks. And the problem that you have there is even people that don't want to see them are seeing them. So, like, that's an issue.
That's where we're at. And that's exactly where we're at. And so the doom and gloom side is kind of what we already covered a little bit. And yeah, it is going to suck, because unfortunately there are things that have happened, and now we're to this point. So now I do, to again piggyback and to segue off of what Unseelie said, like, I do want to kind of hopefully get a bit of a positive light to the situation that we're in. If you're a casual Pokemon fan, what are some positives that you can take away from this? I mean, please don't, go on the social sphere and be surprised to see leaks out there. Honestly, I hate to say it, but if you really want to be surprised when Pokemon ZA comes out, I don't recommend going to X or Twitter right now. It is pretty bad, even with spoiler tags, because you may not mean to, and you can click on one and it will pop up, and then your eyes are just going to probably read it, right? So but and that's, you just have, and I've said this 1,000 times, but you do have to be careful. And if that does happen and that does slip up and you do happen to catch, like, I've caught some leaks here within the last week or so I didn't want to really see. Thank God I'm staying away from socials a little bit, just because I don't want to, any of the story stuff is really not a good thing in my opinion. That's a bad move. The mega leaks that happened, I'm not a fan. Is it going to ruin my experience when playing Z8? No, not for me. But at the same time, I didn't really want to see him. So to take it away, like, guys, if you're out there, just try to, stay positive about it. Try not to feed the leak machine is really what I'm trying to get at, right? Like, don't give in to the fact that, they're doing this. I think in some ways, whether they agree to it or not, or whether they believe what I have to say or not, I don't care. I do think there's a bit of a motive behind it. Please don't give in to that. And if you can, try to stay a little bit safer. Well, sir, I feel like I'm giving like a web safety premiere right now. Guys, when you search the internet, you have to be careful. Don't click on the ads. Don't click on the viruses.
I think the easiest way to, I think this will be the easiest way to just say this. Start culling your ex. Start muting people that cover leaks, and stick to people that don't cover leaks. I mean, that's what I personally myself have been doing. Because do everything that you would have done 3 months or 2 months before the release of Pokemon ZA. Do now.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks.
He's right.
It sucks to say that, but we all have, if you want to avoid leaks, we all know how to do it. We all know what to do as far as settings wise and, all your social medias. Do it now instead of doing it, 2 months before the release date, because everything's already out. I don't, unfortunately, I don't know what else to say on that except for...
Have you ever been beaten by a wet spaghetti noodle by your girlfriend because she has a twin sister and you got confused? Well, that's how it feels to listen to new Contramerc City's 99.9 Gimmighoul Radio.
It's gonna be probably a quiet 6 months.
No, well said. Well said. I mean, there's nothing else we can do about it. Unfortunately, we're in the situation we're in. Maybe those leaks I would like to be optimistic and say maybe they start toning down. I don't think so. I think I think there's even a potential it's going to get worse. And remember, Unseelie, when we covered our last episode, we called it. We said we probably would be revisiting this same situation in a couple weeks from now. And boy, were we right.
Well, so here's my thing. With all of these leaks being so early on, that tends to make me believe that there is a almost complete version of this game somewhere out there.
Yeah.
And that tells me that there is a potential that is going to release, and that bothers me.
Well, it makes you think, not to rehash old subjects, because we all know about the great Terra leak of 2024, right? That was a big deal. It's been covered 1,000 million times.
100%.
There were some whispers that something was going around, and you can't help to think that a lot of people probably knows more than they're letting on. So I'm gonna do the presentation of being the safe website searcher, but seriously, guys, there are things out there that you don't want to find unless that's just your kick and you want to know all the information. Then power to you. You have the right to do whatever you want to do.
If you, and then I will say this side, if you want to find leaks, they are out there. You will be able to find them.
Payday for you.
If you want them, you can find them.
Yeah.
But all I'm going to say is, if you don't want leaks, start screening your ex, start screening your Instagram, and just start following the people that aren't gonna cover the leaks.
Stick to reliable news sources like Gimmighoul Radio, where we're the only radio show that won't purposely give you leaks. How about that?
It's true. We will not purposely give you leaks. I mean,
I don't know what he's doing, guys.
So, this will be a weird segue, but I just found out that Pal World has plushies.
Oh my
and
god.
There's a full-size Chillet plushie.
You know who else has
And-
plushies though, Unseelie? Our great Pokemon company has plushies.
Yes, they do, but they don't have. Hold on, I'm gonna send it to you because this is.
Listen, if it ain't the life-size God of War plushie, I don't want it.
Bro.
Oh my god, it is life-size.
That thing's only $90.
Oh, dude, it's like a body pillow.
Uh-huh. And you know who
Okay.
has adult money?
Who?
This man right here has adult money.
Can you send me some adult money? Can you send me that X-rated adult money, please?
This man's got adult money, and
On the table.
this man might be buying a full-size Chillet plush. But regardless, we will.
Y'all might see Make out here on the new Contramerc City streets working it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let's get over to a commercial real quick. I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be, but
Yeah, I think it's time for a commercial. It's going to be great. Don't worry. We got something good cooking. Here you go. We'll see you right back here on 99.9 Gimmighoul Radio. Bam.
You're listening to 99.9 Gimmighoul Radio, the heart that beats in the center of New Contramerc City. Welcome to the Pokésphere, the ultimate destination for all things Pokemon.
We're thrilled to have you join our Pokemon adventure. Whether you're a seasoned Pokemon master or just starting your journey, this channel is for you.
Here on the Pokésphere, we dive into the latest Pokemon news, explore fascinating theories, share epic battle builds, and feature special guests from the Pokemon community.
Our team of hosts comes from all walks of life and all corners of the globe, bringing you a truly unique and diverse perspective on the world Pokemon.
But it's not just about the games and theories. It's about our amazing community of trainers and Pokemon champions just like you. We're going to connect, share stories, and celebrate our love for the Pokemon franchise together.
So hit that subscribe button and join our Pokemon family. Let's embark on this incredible journey together to catch them all.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more awesome Pokemon content.
We'll see you in the next video.
And welcome back, Gouligans, to 99.9 Gimmighoul Radio. We appreciate all of you sticking around this far. To stick around because we have some exciting news and really cool stuff that we're going to announce right now. And it has to do with Fakemons. And oh, dude, I'm so excited. Fakemon Fridays, anybody? And everybody listening right now is going, what is he talking about? Unseelie, take it away. Tell them everything about Fakemon Fridays. What are we doing in our city, in our server that everyone can be a part of right now?
So, Fakemon Fridays is a way for us to showcase the Warrior region's Pokemon deck. So, what we are doing is, well, let me back up. If those of you who did not know, Gimmighoul Radio is obviously based in the city of New Contramerc City. New Contramerc City is based in a brand new fan-made region called Stavoria. With that, obviously comes new Pokemon, Stavorian forms of Pokemon, and some other surprises that we'll let you guys discover within the city. But Fakemon Fridays is a way for us to showcase individual Pokemon that are appearing in our Pokedex. Throughout Fridays, whether it's inside our channels in the city, whether it's on our social medias, you will get a chance to capture said Pokemon and register to your Pokedex that will provide you within the city. The cool part about this is that everything that we're showcasing is not going to be standard Pokemon art. So I believe Make probably has updated my character model. You'll see this little cat guy sitting there with me. That is one of our Pokemon. His name is Parkerman. He is a mythical Pokemon, and he was drawn by SUBA. I'm sure Meg will put up his Pokedex, entry on the screen and all that. But he was the first one that we had showcased this past Friday, and was caught by one of our own, the Giant, in the server. He was the first one to catch him. And it's just a fun way of interacting with you guys, and a fun way of us revealing the Savorian Pokedex. With that being said, there is more going to be coming down the line with these guys. And we can't wait to see what you guys think of, the starters, the legendaries. We have, I want to say, I don't even know how many. Do you remember how many regional variants we have currently?
In the region of Thavoria?
Yeah, how many regional variants do we have, as of right now? I think it's up to, one?
I was going to say 4 or 5, but maybe 4. 5?
3, 4. 4 regional variants.
Okay, there you go. I hit the number on the head.
4 regional variants, and I'm working on some more.
Absolutely. And guys, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
I will say, as far as the one that was revealed on Friday, the one that we're showing on the screen, this guy, like I said, SUBA, Mad Zygarde Core on X, created this guy for me. This one actually has a lot of special meaning to me. I recently had one of my animals, one of my cats, pass, and to commemorate him, I had asked SUBA if he could draw him in the Pokemon style, and that's where we got our lovely little mythical guy right. I don't know what the next one's gonna be, but knowing Make, he'll probably be throwing up a bunch of silhouettes up on the screen right now, because why not spoil some stuff?
If you love Easter eggs, y'all better get your tinfoil hats on, because it's coming. Right now, I'm sure it's happening.
I will say, we do have legendaries, and those legendaries are going to play a wider part in the Savorian narrative. Yes, there is a narrative. Yes, there is lore. And the more you interact in our city, the more that you're going to get bits and pieces of the lore being kind of hinted to. There is, I suppose we can say this now, there is an individual within our city. I'm not going to say his name, but he's been kind of popping in and out, running around. I won't say causing havoc, because he hasn't really started causing havoc yet, but he's a little ominous, I'll say. I think that's the way you'd put it, right, Make?
Yeah, he's like the shadow in the alleyways that you can't see, but is there. It's a little ominous. There's a presence around the city. You can feel it, and it's wild, guys. I mean, it's super cool to see what's happening around us. This is a weird thing, but I was walking down the street the other day, and a lot of our neon lights started glowing even brighter, almost to the point they were about to burst out of everywhere. But there's some stuff going on in the city, guys, and we just want you guys to be prepared for it.
I'm pretty sure the figure we're talking about is probably the arch enemy of Giant at this point.
I think Giant's gonna beat him with a baseball bat if he sees him in the alleyway. Let's just be honest.
But no, we have a lot of fun to break the fourth wall, so to speak. We have a lot of fun stuff coming down the lines and what we're planning on doing, and without the community that we have, it would be impossible. And that's really it feels really good that we're able to do this for you guys.
I was just going to say that at this moment, speaking to you, the audience, which more than likely is a lot of our Ghouligans already in the city, you know, from our hearts, thank you for being here and listening to our radio show. And I'm just going to let you guys know, this Gimmighoul Radio project is still such a beautiful creation because of you guys. And I haven't gone over this with Unseelie yet, but I think this is the first he's ever going to hear about this, because I think me and Unseelie on a separate day, we're going to try to work out some scheduling issues, but I think we're going to try to record another, like an introduction, a reintroduction video to Gimmighoul Radio and our city and our region, to explain to people, you know, who we are, and what we do. You know, we're a community-based project based around our server, which is our city, in the Pokemon world. You know, we work with many Pokemon artists and creators and content creators, and we just love to create this space for you guys. And this is why me and Unseelie are hosts to this radio show, to talk about what's going on in the Pokemon world, but not only not to just give you news and updates about what's going on, you know, outside of our server, but also to bring you to life into the server. We want you to be a part of this world building experience. We want it to be immersive. We want it to have a role playing aspect of it. And yeah, we just want you to be a part of what we're doing. Anything you want to add to that, Unseelie? And I hope that's okay if you want to get together and do like a, what is Gimmighoul Radio? What is New Contramerc City? You know, what is Thephoria? And showcase that maybe in like a 30-minute introduction video.
I definitely think we need to revitalize the welcome video again. I think that would be great. The only thing that I want to cover before we actually get off air is we have a lot of our stuff coming down the line. As far as events coming up within Gimmighoul Radio, currently we're doing the Metronome tournament. Once the Metronome tournament's done, I have opinions. I thought this was going to be a good idea. I may have misunderstood what a Metronome tournament was.
Oh no.
So, I'm actually going to try to get some of the other contestants of it on, because I would love to hear their opinions about it, because I had a wild match with Intercharismatic.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah, no, it was a wild match. That's all I'll say.
Okay, you're leaving me on the edge of my seat, but I'll believe you.
Dude, all I'm gonna say is, when the only moves your Pokemon know is Metronome, you have no idea where these battles are going.
I mean, it's just kind of like throwing dice, right? You're just throwing it out the...
Oh yeah, no, it is
win.
literally just it's all luck of the draw. Like, it's just
yeah,
it's crazy. But so yeah, currently we have the Metronome tournament happening. Our new vacation destination is in the process of being decided. That one I am looking so forward to that one. The way the poll's going right now, it's going to be either a fan game or a ROM hack, which
honestly, really cool.
Yep. I know our last one kind of fizzled out, but that was due to a lot of, and again, as you guys have noticed, you know, I missed, I think, one episode. Make has missed one episode.
Yep.
There's been a lot going on IRL for a lot of the people within the server. It seems like there's been a 3-week period where all of the higher up people within CC Media Group seem to have gotten hit with just everything under the sun coming at us.
a fry pan called Life, and then we were knocked out for a while.
It hit us all hard. So that hopefully next week we'll be able to announce what the actual vacation is going to be. And
Perfect.
the only issue I have with that is that if we go fan game, that means it's going to be on our computers and or our phones. So there is no excuse for us to be lagging behind.
Oh, no, that's what we're going to get to. I'm always going to get to. Well, you have it with you 24/7. I'm going to be like, yeah.
So no.
You're right.
That's why I'm buying a Steam Deck, because I can be like, no, it's not. It's on my Steam Deck.
That's
Deck's
so
at home.
smart. Honestly,
Dude, I'm telling you.
I prefer it on my phone, to be honest. I think, depending on what the ROM hack is.
Oh yeah, true.
True. If it goes that way.
Well, if we do end up going with the ROM hack, I am gonna. Do you have an Android or an iPhone?
I have an iPhone. Yep.
So they look into this thing called the Backbone. It turns your phone into like a Switch device, and I have one of those as well. And I can honestly say, so good, such a good device for playing ROM hacks and fan games.
I might need to pick that up if that's the route we're taking. I already have a couple ROM hacks, I think.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, and a lot of mobile games are able to be used with it. So it's really cool. It's really cool. I highly recommend it if somebody doesn't want to spend the money on like a Steam Deck. You can play. Well, actually, you might like this. You can actually do PlayStation Remote Play from it. You can do Xbox Remote Play from it. So it's a lot of fun.
It's awesome.
It's a lot of good. Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff, and it's relatively cheap. So that's my selfish plug there. Oh, that's right. So Minecraft server is up and booming. I'm actually probably gonna go jump on that once we head out. I relocated my house, so.
You relocated the house?
Well, so the inn is still there, but I moved out of the inn.
You know what my daughter calls it? The hotel. How does she say it? It's very country. It's very the hotel. The
hotel.
Yeah. It's exactly how she calls it. Yep.
The hotel.
She also stole your bed. Anyway.
So I logged in and I'm like, why am I missing a bed?
That may or may not have been her, but anyway.
You know what? I dropped her armor into sword and was like, this'll end badly, and then just left.
My daughter is lost somewhere underneath your hotel mine shaft. I completely forgot. We were playing like a battle royale, and she had a bow and arrow, and she was chasing me. And so I ran into your hotel because I thought I could get away, and she followed me in, and I went to the mine shaft.
Oh, no.
And yeah, I escaped, but she did not. So I don't know where she's at. So that's where we're at.
Oh,
You might have
no.
to
That's
save
so
her.
sad.
I
I'll
know.
save her.
Deep down, it is kind of sad, and I'm sure if she heard me right now, she'd be really upset. But anyway, not really, but
I was talking to Ginger Ninja, who's in the server.
shout out, dude. He is gone to town on that Minecraft server.
Dude,
have you seen the roads? The granite roads?
I think he's mad at me right now because he just got the road to the inn built, and then I'm like, oh, by the way, I moved.
What? Wait, you got it to the hotel's gonna be there. It's not moving.
Yeah.
So that's one part done anyway.
Yeah, but now he's gonna build a road somewhere else, which is like,
oh yeah,
where are you? He's like, where are you now? And I was like, oh, I'm hidden. Like, I'm in like a crater. You'll never find me. It's fine. He goes, you're a monster.
What crazy people. And you know what? These are just a couple of like just constant great people in our community. Shout out to the Giant. Shout out to Jinja. Shout out to Dan, who is our manager and producer, who's supporting this great server. And that's just one of many that we're hopefully to have coming down the line. Pal World server will be coming online.
Pal World, yep. I gotta talk with Grim at some point so we can figure out the final details on that. But yes, Pal World should be up and running. I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks. I think the issue with that is we're still waiting to figure out if the I guess it's a bug or something's going on the PlayStation side of dedicated servers. So I think we're waiting on that.
Okay.
I know Ash was talking about potentially an Arc 2 server when that comes out. So, I mean, that's the thing. That's the other thing is we, as much as we're very Pokemon based, we do play a lot of other games.
Oh yeah. Well, the biggest thing that we found out when creating New Contramerc City and Gimmighoul Radio, we talked about it and we were like, you know, we're all in this because of Pokemon, but we all enjoy other things outside of our Pokemon world because obviously video games do exist within the Pokemon world. So this is what we do. Here we are.
I have to say this, and it almost pains me, but it doesn't. So I am not a sports game player. I have never touched a sports game. Never touched a sports game.
Throw something at him, Cloak. Throw something at him. See, the Cloak loves
But
MLB.
I recently purchased 2K25 PGA.
Yes, sir.
I will say, now I recently switched jobs. I'm working from home partially. Nothing beats getting off work or even on my lunch. I walk away from my computer. I go sit down in the living room and just play a few holes.
Yes,
That
sir.
is the most relaxing thing I have ever done in my life. And I was like, I don't get this.
It's amazing. Not only is it relaxing in a lot of ways, it's also very frustrating in a lot of ways, but that's why it's so beautiful. It's the beautiful game for a reason.
The only time I have gotten frustrated in that game is when I do everything right for a putt and it just doesn't go in, and I'm like, why? What possibly? Where? What physics are you using? I need to
funny you
understand
mention
this.
that. I recently came, I think. So first of all, I want to plug just a quick shout out to early 1981's World of Golf Society on PGA. He hosts many tournaments and leagues within the PGA Tour 2K franchise within the game, and he does an amazing job with his community, and all the tournaments they put on is really insane. But first of all, I have qualified for, I thought at one point it was the Farmers League, but I think I made it to the Highlands League Tour, which is what I'm currently in now. And I came in middle of the pack competing, and Unseelie, for whatever reason, I'm going to blame you, because my putts were perfect, and then they would run about 20 feet past the hole down the hill, and I'm like, at what point is this that down the hill? Like, I know these greens are slick, but are they that slick?
So I think the worst one I had was, I was like everything right. I was like minus 13 up. I was doing real good. I was very proud of myself.
Oh my God, that's really good. Yeah.
I've actually acclimated to this game really well, and I'm very proud of it. I know it's going to end up failing somewhere down the line, but you know what? I'm living high right now. I know I'm at the beginning section, and I'm like, whatever. I'm crushing these, amateur golfers. Well, one of my last putts. You ever see those videos where the ball circles the hole and then pops out?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that could happen in a video game. And when they, for whatever reason, this is the replay they decided to show. Whenever they showed that replay, I've never been so mad in my life at a video game. And
Welcome to real life, man.
One of the things I will say, and Rachel has said it too, is the commentators hold nothing back.
Oh my God, John. Shout out to John, by the way. He is the best commentator. We've had him the golf club, and John has been there every step of the way, roasting us as the commentator
God.
for years. For years.
This dude's like, did he wake up to decide to play golf, or did he, is he still asleep? And I'm like, bro, I'm on the green.
Does this guy really suck, or does he just suck? Wait.
I'm on the green. Like, I'm doing better than 90% of these other golfers. Nah, I still suck,
yeah.
bro.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the life, man. Hey, speaking of which, we have to play around soon. Listen, I've made some decent progress on our new Contramerc City luxury golf club that will
Nice.
be hopefully, I have to create it perfectly because I want it showcased on the official TCG tours, a worldwide tour that everybody plays virtually. I want it to be that caliber of a golf course. I'm in the middle of creation.
Question, can you import your own artwork into it?
No, I don't think you can. I know you can't from the PlayStation side of things. As far as like PC creation, I'm not 100% sure on it. I doubt it, though.
Okay.
I think it's an in-house like golf course software built with the engine they use. And they have a lot of assets, to be fair.
No, but I was hoping like we could throw like the QR code in or something.
Oh, I see. I'm thinking. I don't.
That's the other thing I do want to mention, because I am talking to somebody right now. I know me and Make talked about this a little bit before we went live, but if anybody has, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. So the person I'm speaking with right now does, what is it called? iRacing. And they're able to customize their cars, obviously. And we're looking at, it'd probably be like, what would you call it? Like a loose sponsorship, you think?
Yeah.
Like of this person.
A little bit of marketing.
Yeah, of this individual's car. Anybody within the Gooligan area, city and, the Gooligan title, if you guys do anything like that and you have an interest in, having a bunch of Gimmighoul stuff on like your car or whatever else it is, hit us up. We can get you the assets and the art, and, we can work with you on that. We have a lot of variations of art and a lot of stuff, but thankfully on the plus side, anything that's obviously not like exclusively Pokemon related is all of our own. So it's not like you'll get hit with, what is it, like copyright strikes or anything like that. So
Yep, 100%. And Unseelie doesn't know this, but he's creating me on my back of my car. Instead of it saying Salt Life, like all the old cars used to say, it's going to say Gooligan Life.
So you don't know this part. I have been looking into, it was asked of us before, and I have been looking into ways of doing merch where we don't necessarily get paid for it, because once we start getting paid for it, then we have to start paying for different services when it comes to merch. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at ways of making merch available to people, but I want to make it so that it's available to people in a way that I'm okay with, because I don't want somebody to have a bad experience and have it tied to Gimmighoul Radio.
Yeah,
So-
nope, I get it. Logistics is a big thing, and that's something, actually, I'm really excited you mentioned that, because it is something we are actively looking into, and it's just a part of the bigger, it's a piece in a giant, bigger part of the puzzle, right? Which is going to be really all of us, all of our Gooligans, everyone who's going to be along for the ride. Buckle up, because we got some really, I think, really fun stuff coming. So.
Oh yeah. I think the final thing I will say is we are still looking for a couple positions within CC Media to be filled. We are looking for an active recruitment officer for like the city, for the server, for, different various games and stuff like that. We're also looking for what's called an a SME or a SME. They're called subject matter experts for individual games. So if you might not be like into Pokemon, but like I'll use SUBA as an example. SUBA's nickname in the city is Captain SUBA because he is our SME for Sea of Thieves. He is the foremost guide and the person that I would send anybody to with questions about Sea of Thieves. So any of the Ghouligans that feel like they are or would be good in that role for any game really, we try to tend towards multiplayer games because that's where you're going to be able to help people the most. Obviously is a multiplayer game where you can jump into their world, server, squad and help them out. But if you have any interest in any of those roles, please, hit up any of the admins, the mods, the producers, anybody within CC Media, and we'll get you connected and we'll get you figured out on that end of things.
Yeah, 100%, guys. I know, like we said it 1,000 times, we'll say it 1,000 more. Gimmighoul Radio, New Contramerc City, the Voria region is built by you. We are all a part of this one big community, and we hope we continue to grow and and just be a fun place for everybody to come hang out, have a good time, kick back, laugh, enjoy our shows, as they go on. And that's what we're here for. We're not here to clout search. We're not here to do big numbers. Like, we really just are here for you guys, and obviously to grow with you and to bring new people on and to have fun. That's really what we are in everything we do.
Exactly.
I hope that comes through. I hope we seem like pretty genuine, down to earth people.
Definitely. Like I said, it's been rough couple of weeks, at least on my end, and I appreciate everything that everybody in Gimmighoul has done to, just help talk, whenever we needed it. And I can't wait to see where we go from here. I think there's a lot coming down the road. I think there's a lot that, I think there's a lot we want to do, but we just don't know how to do it yet. And one of the things that you will notice, at least within, Gimmighoul Radio and CC Media Group, is that we kind of like to do things on our own. We definitely, I think between like Make, Dan, Ash, myself, Grim, even Jake and Gray, if we can learn how to do it, we're probably going to do that over outsourcing or hiring somebody, because then we at least know it's getting done to the way we want it to be done.
Yeah,
and
that's a good point.
With that, I think
yeah. Did you hear the banging on the glass? Did you hear that?
Yeah, but I ignore him. He came back from Japan.
No, Unseelie. It's not dead, it's my wife. I gotta get out of here.
Okay, well, she scares me, so
yeah, she scares everybody.
I'm gonna go. I have
Dan, where you at? I want Dan this time. I wish it was Dan.
He just came back from, I don't know, somewhere. He went somewhere tropical.
Yeah, I went on a vacation while we were all suffering. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I know that pasty Canadian. I hope he burned.
All right, I gotta go. Bye.
Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Beyond the pixels, where the circuits align, fading fast but finding signs, a love untouched by human hands in this electric wonderland.